Hello, my friend, and welcome as we discuss an item called the Neapolitan 6 chord. What? Well, let me explain. First, to clear things up, the Neapolitan 6 is actually a chord inversion. Now, let me tell you what inversion means. So you heard me play this chord. That's a C minor chord. I'm using as the root note an actual C. Now, if I play an inversion of that, I go up to this form. I'm using the E flat as the root, okay? First inversion. So what it basically is you're playing the same chord, but you're using a different note in the chord as the root note. That's what an inversion is, okay? So we're doing this inversion right there. Now, what's also strange about this is, since we're doing chords in the C minor scale, well, the second note in a C minor scale is actually a D, okay? So it would sound like that if you were playing it based off the C minor scale, but we're doing a flattened D. And that right there is the secret behind the Neapolitan 6 chord. It uses a flattened second. Okay, now 6, Neapolitan 6. What does the 6 mean? Okay, well, since you're starting and you're doing an inversion, the root, in this case the F, if you go 6 notes above it, 4, 5, 6, there's your D flat. That's where the 6 comes in. So the Neapolitan 6 is the first inversion of, in this case, the C minor scale, with a flattened second note. Okay, so what is the point of doing this? Well, if you listen, you can really hear the tension on that top note. The D flat, then the B in the G7 chord here, resolving back to C minor. So that's basically what the point is behind this. Okay, now where did this come from? Neapolitan itself is an Italian word, okay? And the history and origin behind this form was derived back in Naples, particularly between two periods of music, the Baroque and the Classical, ranging from about early 1600 to the early 1800s. And it was used by a variety of composers, okay, for the effect that you're hearing right there. It is pretty cool. It heightens the intensity before you get to what would be the 5th chord in the scale, the C minor scale, and resolving back to here. So that is where it originated. And you've heard this actually, believe it or not, in a variety of songs. One I can point out to you is the Moonlight Sonata from J.S. Bach. Well, if you look at the sheet music, or if you hear it, you might hear that kind of chord before resolving to this chord back to the root chord of it itself. So that's basically it. Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, we can do this in C minor with the Neapolitan 6. Can we also do it in a major scale, C major? Absolutely. Let me first show you a pattern where I blend it in. Okay, so you heard me use it in several spots within that more extensive chord pattern. And you heard at the end, going from there to that chord, concluding on the C major chord. You can hear a little bit more tension on that. All right, so basically what you need to pretty much do on this, if you're doing a C major scale, okay, D is obviously the second note, and then make sure that what you're doing is you're applying the flat. The second note in the C major scale, you're flattening it like we discussed to get that Neapolitan 6 inversion. And there you have it. That's the Neapolitan 6. Thank you very much for watching. Next, I have included some tabs of the chord patterns that we reviewed. And I also included tabs for the Neapolitan 6 used in the key of G minor as well. It's actually the second tab that you will see next.